welcome to a brand new video. Today we're going to be going over how to build a vision board for 2025 and how to properly set goals so that you can actually get to the end of the year and feel like you actually achieved them. Because how many times have you set goals, maybe the past year in 2024, you set goals and you didn't really get to the result that you wanted, and you just kind of look back and realized, I forgot about the goals that I set and I didn't really make as much forward progress as I could have. So I'm going to go over the exact process that I use personally to set my goals in each category of life and set action steps to make sure that these are going to be accomplished and to build a vision board that matches. Step one is always to spend some time reflecting and reviewing. Now, a lot of people check out at this because it's not as fun as, the actual goal setting process. A lot of people want to talk about what they want to do, but they don't reflect and review on how the year went. And we kind of always just live in this I want more reality without spending the time to recognize the progress that we have made. By reflecting on the challenges that I went through over the last year, it allowed me to have a deep appreciation for the things that I've gone through and the person that I've become in the process. And this makes life a lot more rewarding because you're recognizing yourself for the character development, you're recognizing yourself for the things that you have accomplished, and you're reflecting on maybe the things that didn't go so well and how you want to improve. Where did you spend your time? Where should you be spending more time this year if you want to get to your goals? So for me, reflecting and reviewing looks like reviewing my 2024 goals. What did I achieve and what did I not achieve? And in reflection on my own goals, I realized that a lot of the things that I set out to do this year, I did not accomplish. But because I spent some time reflecting, I also understand that that was purposeful. There was a reason I didn't accomplish all of the things that I set out to do in 2024. And it's because I had to go through a year of personal development, spiritual, emotional, and mental development to be able to accomplish the things that were on that vision board, that were on my goal list. So I have a deep appreciation for what I went through this year that has developed so much wisdom and knowledge and just internal strength to be able to produce the results that I want to have this year. Now, this is going to take some time for you to just sit down, allow your brain to flow, which a lot of us don't do these days. Put your phone down, don't scroll, don't numb, don't distract yourself. Maybe get out a piece of paper and a journal if it helps you think, but no distractions. Just let yourself reflect and process. And if you need to, give yourself some prompts to reflect on. Things like, what goals did you achieve this year that made you feel most fulfilled? What was the most significant challenge that you faced and how did you grow from it? What were your 3 proudest moments of 2024 and why did they matter to you? Were there any habits, beliefs, or distractions that held you back? Now, going into the actual goal setting process, what I personally like to do is sit down with a notebook and write in 4 categories: my health and fitness, my career/wealth/business, my relationships, and my personal development/self. But before I get into those categories, there's something really important to note here. There was a study that was done that proved that you're 42% more likely to accomplish your goals if you write them down. I am a big believer in this. I've been writing down my goals every single week, every single month, and every single year for the last 6 to 7 years now. And I know for certain that if I had not written those goals down, I would not have been as focused, and I definitely wouldn't have accomplished as much as I have. And I believe the reason for this is because when you write something down, you're ingraining it in your brain, you're putting it at the forefront of your mind. You have what's called a reticular activating system, and basically what this part of your brain does is it shows you what is important. If you have decided that this thing is important, you are going to see more of it. Here's a very common example. If you are someone who wants to buy a car, it's a red car, you're going to see more of that red car out on the road. It's not because there's more of them out there suddenly. It's because your brain, where you have told your brain that it is more important. So your brain filters out everything else that is not important and actually works for you by focusing on what you told it was important. So this should be a part of your weekly process, every Sunday sitting down and taking 20 to 30 minutes to set goals in each category. Now, before we get into the actual categories of setting goals, I want to talk about the process that I use and the framework for goal setting. This goes a layer deeper, and yes, it takes time, but this is the part that makes these goals actionable. You're going to set outcome goals. These are the big vision, long-term goals that might be 6 months to a year long. These are things like, I want to lose 30 pounds. I want to get in the best shape of my life. I want to be more metabolically healthy. I want to repair my gut health. Maybe you want to save X amount of money over the course of a year. You should have a couple outcome goals in each category because these are going to be your bigger vision that you're working towards. And then from there, you're going to set your performance goals. These are things that you can measure off of. So maybe a performance goal would be, I need to lose 1 pound this week, I need to hit 4 workouts, and I need to hit X amount of steps per day. Now, these are going to be used to guide your process goals, which are going to be your daily tasks that are actionable. If you know that you need to lose 1 pound per week, what do you need to do every day to be able to lose that 1 pound? And this is where the tasks come in, right? Your tasks are your process goals that are actionable. The outcome goals aren't necessarily actionable. If you don't know what you need to do to get there, it's going to be nearly impossible to get to those outcome goals, and that's where the process comes in And if you don't have the process that backs up getting to the outcome, then again, you won't get there. And the last and probably most important part of this process is to look at your goals every day and every week. This is what you're going to build your day-to-day tasks off of. So personally, I like to look at my goals for the week and then make time in my calendar for the tasks that need to be done to help me hit those weekly targets. So every Sunday I sit down for an hour, I take out my calendar and I take out my notebook to set my goals. I set my goals in each category, and from there I make the projects or the tasks that can then go into my calendar. Now, one of the most important steps to all of this is to spend some time visualizing who you want to become, not just what you want to accomplish, because in this process you're going to have to become someone different to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. And that person has a certain set of character traits. They have a certain set of values. And so if you can visualize yourself and how that person behaves and who they are, you can then choose to be that person right now, today. And you can focus more on the values and the character traits that you want to develop that will then make it easier to get to your overall goals. And by visualizing, you can also create an identity label. How you label yourself matters because you are more likely to do the things that you associate with your identity. We want to maintain the identity that we have for ourselves. So if you have identified as someone who is a procrastinator, you're going to do things that lead you to be a procrastinator. If you identify as a high performer instead, your behavior suddenly changes, because you want to maintain that identity. Maybe you identify as an overthinker and instead you want to identify as an action taker. You get to choose this identity in this visualization process. Now from here, you can take the list that you created for your goals and the visualization that you did to identify who you want to become, combine those two things, and you can find graphics, photos, and art to support that vision and create the vision board. The biggest mistake I see from a lot of people is they think a vision board is some sort of mood or aesthetic board. That's completely different. What you want to do is take the goals that you wrote down and find photos that match or represent those goals. So pull up the goal list and pull up the notes that you took in that visualization process, and then maybe pull up Pinterest or Google, and for each goal or every couple goals, you can choose a photo that matches. I personally like to use Canva because it's super easy. You can just go into templates and search up vision board, and it has hundreds of different templates that you can use. Now, if you can't find specific photos or there's just words or phrases or quotes that you want to add onto your vision board, you can always just use the text option in Canva or print it off manually if you're doing a physical board. I also sometimes like to put text over top of my photos just to give them a little bit more context and remind me what is the goal that's attached to that photo. At the end of all of this, you should have 4 categories on your board: your fitness and health, wealth, relationships, and self. As mentioned, I personally like to use Canva because I just find it super quick, super easy. You have a digital copy of it. So if you want to put it on the background of your desktop or anywhere else, you have that available and you can print it off as well for your wall. I'm going to go ahead and show you exactly how to create one super simply. You're going to go into Canva, click on templates on the left here. You're going to go into search templates, type in vision board, and all of these different layouts come up. You can obviously pick the one that you enjoy the most. I just like to go with something simple that has a little bit of pop with it. And obviously I like to do mine landscape because I print mine off as a poster and put it on my wall. So depending on how you're going to use it, what you're going to use it for, and where you're going to be putting it, you would either want to create a vertical or a landscape vision board. So let's just say you like this one the best. You're going to choose it, customize this template. It'll take you to this page. You're going to be able to change the text. You can change the photos, so you can upload your own photos in here and drag and drop just right into the template that's already there. And the nice thing with Canva is that you can actually go ahead and print right from home and it'll get delivered to your doorstep. If you don't want to do that, you can probably use a local print shop or, somewhere and just print this off as a poster. You can even use it on your desktop, whatever else. But I personally prefer to have a physical copy in front of me because I know that when it's on my wall and, it's just above my computer, I can see it every single day. And I find when I have it on my desktop, I kind of just don't see it as much. It's just kind of something that I see in passing, but I don't really pay much attention to. All right, so to finish off this video, I want to go over my vision board and why I chose what I chose and what it really means to me. So obviously some of these photos don't really have any context, but because I took my goal sheet and I also took my vision board and I chose photos that match my goals, I know that when I look at a photo like this, it actually means something to me, right? So this photo, it could just mean, oh, get a dog, or it could just mean that's a cool picture of a dog. But for me, it means my dog, I want to be able to take places and travel and be in new places without it being stressful. I want her to be really well trained. And this is what that represents to me. So when you're choosing your photos, you really want to make sure that you're choosing photos that align with the goals that you set. The biggest mistake I see people making is they just make an aesthetic board of what they want their life to look like. Set your goals and then photos that actually align with it. Because every time I look at my vision board, I know those exact photos, what they mean and why they're there and what I'm working towards. So as you can kind of see here, I have travel in one section. I've got kind of more personal goals, laid out here. So I've got metabolic health, mobility and posture, lean. These are very vague, but understand that they're only vague because I do have my goals alongside them, right? Run a 5K race. This is masculine feminine balance, which is something that I've been working on as I talked about in my previous video. Just a quote that I really like. That's a really great reminder for me personally right now. Again, if you're going to put quotes on your vision board, make sure they actually resonate with you, meaning that's not just something you like, but it's something that you're trying to work towards and a reminder that's going to serve you, as you go throughout this year. This one just represents my heart, opening up my heart more. Again, I talked about all of this in the last video. Debt-free, my money works for me. So a lot of these things, again, they represent the goals that I have in my goal list. And obviously there's a few other things that resonate with me or things that I have goals towards this year. But biggest thing here is that I have them in sections so that I understand like what am I working towards and I have a balance of everything. Now, this vision board is not complete. So a lot of the relationship stuff I have and personal goals I'm going to put on there, but those are more personal to me. So I just wanted to share what I have so far, what it looks like, but I will be adding more to this and it'll be more full looking, more photos. I'd say my biggest piece of advice with all of this is to just give more context and more identity to your vision board. Every single photo that I look at on this vision board makes me really excited. It gets me really inspired and motivated to do the work that I know I need to do. So if you look at your vision board and it just seems daunting, it just is like a stack of books and maybe like a couple quotes that don't even resonate with you. You don't have any writing on there to give it context. You're probably going to look at it and it's not going to feel really inspiring. So take your time to find the photos that really inspire you, they motivate you, and you can actually envision yourself in your dream life through that vision board. After watching this video, I really hope that you take action with it because nowadays it's so easy to just go and scroll and consume and get distracted by the next thing. Really take the time for yourself. You owe it to yourself to take 2 hours to set your goals, get your photos ready, and build your vision board so that you can get excited for this new year. I think it's pretty safe to say that most of us get really excited this time of year to set new goals and just create this big vision. But one thing I will say with all of this is that you have to have a game plan behind all of these goals that you have if you really want to achieve them. That's where the specifics of the action plan and the day-to-day, what should you be doing to get to the outcome goals that you have, really come into play. I think it's also safe to assume that if you're watching this video, you have some sort of fitness goals for yourself this year. If that's you and you've set these goals of being the healthiest version of you this year, building muscle, having the most aesthetic physique, maybe losing 30 pounds, losing 40 pounds, whatever it is, if you set those goals and you're excited towards them, but you don't have a game plan, you're not sure how to get there, enrollment for one-on-one fitness coaching is currently open for the new year. There are only 4 spots left. So if that's something that you're interested in, DM me transformation and we'll see if we're a good fit, or go ahead and submit an application, which will be in the caption below. This is only for women who are already on their fitness journey. They've kind of gotten started, but they feel like they need that next level of strategy. They've achieved some level of transformation so far, but they feel like they've plateaued. These are the type of women that I specialize in helping. I've been a fitness coach for 5 years now, and we've transformed hundreds of women's lives through our process. So if you want a more one-on-one feel, you want someone to work alongside you and just be in your corner throughout this process and help you with a one-on-one game plan, submit an application and we can go through the process of seeing if this is a good fit for you. And lastly, if this video is helpful for you, please leave a comment, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you want to follow along my journey for 2025. I'll be doing lots of vlogs and lots of educational style content on here. Now get to planning, have fun creating your vision board, and we'll see you in the next video.